Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Three Donkeys podcast. My name is Adam Levitan. I am the father of a very special lady, the most beautiful beast in the world, Jerry. And we have a very special, a unique episode for you all today. We have three donks outside of myself, all in one location. We will get to why in a second. Let me quickly say hello to the normal donkeys, Peter Jennings, aka CSU Ram 88. Peter, what's going on?
Just another day. Excited for the Three Donkeys podcast. Trying to live the GTO life, and pumped.
Also, of course, Bales is with him out in a location which will shortly be disclosed. Bales, what's going on?
Not much, dude. Did a workout with Peter earlier today. It was probably the worst time of my life. I'm still feeling that. We like literally feel like we still need to vomit.
Bales completed the workout. I did not. I vomited.
Okay. We need to get into that later because I'm pissed that you guys are working out without me because I'm just strong stone dead in this mile race, which I somehow gave 2-1 on. But anyways, we need to introduce the first ever guest in the history of the Three Donks podcast. He is a man who was a legend on the 2+2 forums. If you're familiar with that, prop bet king. I'm trying to steal his intros as we speak. He is president of hashtag Tank Top Life. I think he has a club called the GTO Club. I believe he is with a woman now who I've seen in many of his own YouTube videos. He's done a swimming prop. He's done a masturbation prop. He's done poker props. He has a book supposed to debut about somehow how to land women. It is Joe Ingram, aka Joe Ingram 1. Joey, how's it going, man?
Adam, I like that intro. Your intro game, I can tell. So you guys understand. Adam's intro game has changed, and I can tell it's gotten more like my intro game on my podcast. I've had all these gentlemen on my podcast, and his intro game has like slowly sort of molded into the AKAs, and the accolades. So he's doing a good job, man. You're doing good work, kid. Nice work, man. Keep it up. Hardest working guy on the internet. Maybe I don't know. I feel like you're working 75 hours a day here.
Okay, the reason we wanted to have Joey on the podcast, as I mentioned,
okay, fuck off. Okay, it's fine. No.
He is known for prop betting. Tell us, Joey, how you got into the prop betting game. I know going back 2+2 days doing actual poker props. Why don't you start there and then get into some of the other props you've done?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I started prop betting back poker-wise 2008. There was like a guy named Doug Polk. He did a prop bet. I don't know if the audience will know as much about poker. He did a prop bet where he had to make a certain amount of money in a month. And I watched that. It was in 2007. And I said, I kind of want to do a prop bet like that one day. And then 2008, I did my first prop bet. I tried to play the most hands ever played in a month, 600,000 hands at full ring. And then I happened to win that somehow. And then the next year, I did another prop bet, wanted to play the most hands a day, and then a couple more prop bets where I ended up had to play the most hands in different game type, Hotline Omaha, which is a great game. And then I don't know, I've always done things Supernova Elite from there. I did like the masturbation porn prop bet I did last year. I did a book writing prop bet with Bales over here in South Hill that we got together one night in New York City. Thank God for that night, by the way. I like being an author, so thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys just being there for that. That was really fun. And I feel like I've done some other prop bet. I have a swimming prop bet right now that's sort of postponed by a hurricane that went through the Caribbean island. And I don't know, man. I feel like the prop bets are something that really just pushed me to another level. And the things that get me the most excited, most motivated, I feel like just doing these extreme challenges. And yeah, I'm looking for a new one now, so maybe we'll get one tonight. I don't really know what happens. So.
Tell the people exactly the details of the masturbation prop, because I think that's one that our audience will be particularly interested in.
Yeah, so I made one with a guy named Fedor Holz. Fedor Holz is one of the most successful tournament poker players right now in the world. On a podcast last year, I don't even know how we got started on masturbation and porn, and the idea was that we may or may not masturbate or watch porn. I don't know. Who really knows? I'm not sure what these guys like to do either, but. So I said, you know what? I won't masturbate. I won't watch porn for the rest of the year. This was August. So August, September, October, November, December. I got 3-1, his 9,000 and my 3,000. And now he wasn't there watching me every day. He wasn't there, but I think it drastically improved my productive life. I was the most productive I've ever been. And it certainly changed my life for the better temporarily until I won the bet. And then I may or may not have went back on. I mean, once you like get past the or in my head, once you get past the first or second week, you know, I don't think it's that hard, especially if you have a nice friend that maybe, you know, that you let her know about what the
I mean, what's your regular schedule like?
It's a good, you know, like pickup line with your lady.
It really, hey, I was like, listen, like I cannot masturbate, so I have to fuck you like soon and a lot, okay? Because I can't. This is out of line. It's a demographic all males that watch this podcast.
I don't know about that, but I would guess 95%.
Okay, good.
Way
All right.
higher.
Take the over. I'll take the over.
Mine's 97, so I mean, you know, we can talk about out of line things all the time, but yeah. So I kind of I remember I told this one girl, I said, hey, like, you know, we gotta get to it. You know, I'm a horny young man. You can't send me nude photos. Don't like send me pictures of you doing like videos of you doing things because that might, you know, I might be tempted. So it was good. And
that work?
What?
Did that work?
Yeah.
How much porn did you watch after you won the bet? Did your habits change post the bet?
I think I actually came back watching more porn, yeah, because I was gone from it for so long. I'm like, I got so much to collect on here. And then, you know, it just kind of, I would probably should do the bet again. But, you know, it is what it is. And here we are right now in Las Vegas, so it's okay.
All right, out of line question number one. Number one porn star in your book.
Well, I know my friend Ryan is friends with a lot of these porn stars, and I think he might come over and stay with one or two of them in the room very soon here. So I could be excited for that. I don't think I'll be able to partake of that. I might be in love right now. But I think my favorite porn star in the book, I don't know. Adam, who's your favorite porn star?
No. Give me a reference point.
I need a reference point.
I like the amateur for me, so I don't have, you know, like stars. Like I'm not into that.
My favorite guy, it's a guy, okay? It's either the dude who drives the taxi in the Czech Republic and then goes around and picks up women and fucks them in the back, or it's the original backroom casting couch guy who somehow has been fucking conning these poor women now for about 10 years, 11 years to get, this guy, get it. This dude is like, what, 40, 50 something. He's been having sex with attractive women for 10 years. I mean, this guy's a legend to me. GTO. Like, that's a legendary guy right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be one of those guys. I'm not watching for those guys. I'm just saying, you know, whatever they bring up, it's like my podcast, whatever. The guests I have on, people watch it. It's like him, the talent he procures. I'm going to give it a chance. So.
All right. I think that's enough porn/masturbation talk for one episode. Let's go to Bales here. Bales, why don't you tell the people what you and Peter are doing in Las Vegas? By the way, they're in Joey's apartment right now in Las Vegas. Bales, what are you and Peter doing out there?
Yeah, we're here for the closing dinner for the acquisition that we talked about last week, and did that last night, played craps. Yeah, it's been a good time. It's difficult to stay focused, though, obviously.
All right, Bales did a terrible job. Absolutely pitiful. I mean, obviously he explained what we're here for, but we had a legendary dinner and more of a legendary role at the craps table by the one and only Bales. And the way it started off was we come to the table, we have like all these guys from the Journey Group and Sports Insight, Sports Action, and we get there and I go to set my money down and immediately set it down right as the dice are coming in. And the guy with the most money at the table is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And literally,
I thought that they hit your hand.
It didn't hit my hand.
100%. Very close.
The guy was very bad. Did not hit my hand. And Bales.
Is that like a blackjack thing when you like hit on the wrong thing?
Yeah, but it's even worse because then Bales goes like, "Do you really think that like him doing that changes the outcome?" And the guy just gives him the death stare. So then Bales.
How much money does this guy have?
I had like 20K from 15K. I mean, he had yellows and yeah, he was irrational. Oh yeah. I mean, this is a guy, tight shirt, shaved head, you know, that whole shtick. And Bales just cuddles up right next to him, and the guy rolls, has like a mediocre roll. Then it comes to Bales, and Bales goes on the ultimate heater. And Bales also, I haven't said this to you, but you know the one thing that everyone hates when you play craps, you're not supposed to do. Bales is like, yeah, as long as I don't roll a 7, things are going to be great. And he keeps saying he's teaching the guy how to play the game. He's like, yeah, as long as it's not a 7, it's going to be good. And the guy just keeps yeah, it's supposed to be bad luck. But the guy's giving him the stink eye, and Bales just goes on an ultimate heater. He hit like the pass line like 5 or 6 times. He hit a bunch of numbers. Everyone made money just because of that roll, and it was a legendary night.
How much make?
All right, what about the Monday Night Football game? Do you guys hang on the sports book? I feel like this kind of crew would want to chill in the sports book and watch the game.
Yeah, we were at the Westgate. Fortunately, Chad Millman had some good connections there, so we got kind of a private area. And Bales and I bet the over like total donkeys, but at least we're represented in this podcast.
All right. Let's we got a ton of positive response last week to the business kind of talks that we've had. I've heard Joey say recently on his shows, and by the way, Joey, what's the best way for people to like catch up with your stuff? Obviously YouTube, obviously on iTunes, obviously Twitter, anywhere else, and give the people how they can find your stuff.
Yeah, and if they want to watch the podcast or check it out or whatever, it's on YouTube, youtube.com/Joe Ingram 1, or iTunes as well. I've been doing some more videos outside of just straight podcast, putting some clips up there as well too, and trying to do more of that on social, more of the micro content. So I think that's probably the best place. And then I put a lot of stuff on Instagram too, instagram.com/PapiGTO, PapiGTO, which are, I know most people are like, why the fuck is this guy called Poppy? And what the hell does GTO mean? And that's a very fair question, people. But just some names I picked up over the past 3 years, and that's what we do.
I got on this.
You guys have to.
He
said
You guys
it's our
have.
biggest lead, right?
I just joined Instagram, I think in April or March.
Business reasons or for growth?
Business reasons. I mean, really, 100%. Because I mean, from my, obviously you guys' business is going well, but from what I've found from a personal brand standpoint is that so many people that you meet and companies that you meet do put a lot of stock in Instagram and your following, and in terms of just advertising and getting paid for posts, and also pushing a lot of your product too. I think that Instagram is a great resource for that, and it's only getting bigger as well too. Whereas Twitter, without Trump, I mean, I don't know how much the longevity is for that, but for me, it's just one of my biggest regrets from that standpoint is not being on Instagram.
I love Twitter, but it is more difficult to advertise.
Yeah.
Instagram is
Right. Yeah.
Big leap not getting on Instagram. How many followers do you have now, Poppy?
I think like 12.3K or something like that too. So I feel like I
Are you
don't
doing
know.
things to get followers?
A little bit, not too much though, because what I found on Instagram is that I try to keep, is how the algorithm works, is that you want to get people engaged with your posts in terms of likes and comments, and that's how the more likes and comments you get, the more they push you, the more your followers. So if you're not getting a ton of engagement on your post, and if you're getting followers, like some people like Doug Polk, because got a lot of followers through these giveaways in poker, and a lot of his followers are dead followers who just sign up just because they happen to be on there. And what that does is that's going to, those people aren't going to check your stuff ever, they're never engaging with your stuff, and that's going to hurt your overall numbers. So from my standpoint, I'm trying to build up more slowly and organically and figure out ways to improve the engagement on my current post and just my overall strategy for it, and then, kind of build up from there. And I think over time it'll be
Sounds like you have thought about it.
I did it a lot. I studied that. It's like poker for me. I studied a lot. I think about it a lot. I always try to get better at this kind of stuff. So yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, like Joey doesn't do like strat stuff on his shows, right? He's not into like hand breakdowns and stuff like that. It's more interviewing people and lifestyle type stuff. Lately, I've heard you say a couple times on your podcast, Joey, that you're quote unquote bad at this business thing. So while we're on the topic of business, what did you mean by saying you're bad at this business thing? It seems like you're doing pretty okay to me.
So I feel like I'm so bad. I don't know, man. Like I know these two gentlemen right here, these guys are pretty fucking GTO at this kind of stuff. But I think my overall idea of selling things, of kind of like promoting my own stuff, even I still kind of have that thing where I just have reservation. And I don't know, it feels so weird to be like, hey, check out this podcast, or check out this thing, or check out that thing. And I think in poker, especially where a lot of your money is made from playing poker and putting in those hours yourself, whereas in business, it's like, well, hey, do you want to advertise on my show? And then I need to promote that product. And then people say, oh, like, you're a shill, you're a sellout. And I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. But at the same time, I've always been like, okay, like, I'm not going to do that, man. I'm going to make all my money from poker. And, that's going to be good on one hand. But on the other hand, part of being a businessman is making money from your business, making money from what you build up. And, I'm still trying to like deal with that and get with that. And then it's just so different because a lot of times, let's say like, I do something with these two guys, something like that, and they pay me a one-time fee for something, and I do 4 things that take a total of an hour. Well, then, it's an hour I put in, whereas it just seems like it's nothing really for the most part, but that's sort of how business works sometimes. And just trying to wrap my head
The
around
thing that you've done well is build up like you do everything really well for long term. The advertising stuff is only optimizing for right now. The best thing that you could do is just build an organic following, and you've done that.
Yeah.
Better than anyone that I know, probably more engaged than.
You've been real, man. You've been authentic. I think people.
So you can like turn on that advertising thing and then point. That's the easy part. It's hard to have the engaged audience that's following you.
I think Joe hit on something big too. That's really hard. That's been a challenge, but part of the reason I think FantasyLabs is successful too is DFS, poker, anything. It seems disingenuous when you're touting picks or you're going through hands or whatever, and that's a huge thing. But I think one thing we tried to do with FantasyLabs, and I think Adam, actually, your Twitter game is the best at this. Is just like provide people with useful information, and I think that's like the thing that's really cool. And for me, like I love your YouTube podcast because you get great information from guys I think are really smart. You have genuine good conversations and like you care, and that stuff's really cool versus like just touting something or doing an ad or whatever. And I think that more and more stuff like that will be a good business move long term. Like Bill said, I think you're building a good foundation there.
Yeah, I think people have to like like Adam, like obviously cares so much about it. You know what I mean? He like does it because he really is into football, and I don't even think of him as because be like empire makers on Twitter always bashing touts and stuff like that, and people talk shit about touts, but I would never consider either of you three a tout. Like I don't even think about it like that because you guys do provide a lot of other value in terms of just the things that you talk about. You're not just like, okay, this is the pick, this is that. You guys sort of balance that with other things, and I mean obviously Adam's like I honestly know more. I wouldn't know as much I know about football right now unless I didn't follow Adam. And I like hey, follow Adam, don't know about football because this kid's like grinding all day long, man, and just putting out so much cool stuff. And Evan does a great job too. I just follow those two guys, and this is how I know about football in 2017 right now.
Yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, I hate like the tout stuff. We've talked about this before. I think we talked about it last week. Just like I would rather never give a pick ever in the history of my life. Like if I thought I had every nut pick, then I would just be printing money. I wouldn't be talking about anything. Nobody has a nut pick for everything. So especially as like sports betting comes to more prominence, like I would be very skeptical of people being like, buy my package, I'm going to give you 3 winners this week, 5-star winners. Like that would be a huge red flag to me. And when I hear the term tout, like that's what I think about. I don't think about like what we're doing, and maybe I'm naive about that, but it is what it is. Yeah, for me, with
poker, because you're competing against these people. Sports betting is a little bit different, but yeah. I think that the main thing that we've all done pretty well is just focus on long term and optimizing for long term. And if you have a longer view than everyone else, then I think that's probably GTO.
Yeah, I think most people don't know. They don't know what it means to have a long-term view, and they're so sort of, how do I monetize this, whatever this is, straight away, and then they go to the kind of like the affiliate things. They get into bad affiliate deals with companies where they don't make much money and they don't really believe in the product and have a relationship with the company. Whereas I think for me, I've only, people ask me for years, how are you making money? And the person was talking to Peter, he said, how are you making money from this show? I'm like, man, I don't know, really. I'm not quite sure yet. And that's like a very common question because as I grow in my audience, all my smart friends are like, hey, how do you make money from this? It's a common thing to ask that. And for a long time, I'm like, I'm just playing poker is how I make money. But over time, I've done some affiliate stuff. I made a couple videos for FantasyLabs and made a little bit of money from that. And then with poker, Upswing Poker has, this is like the perfect affiliate system where they have this very high priced products with their courses that are great courses, also my friends. So those are just natural things. But overall, that's all I've really affiliated for is like Upswing Poker, a little bit of FantasyLabs, and then maybe like one other poker product, but that's it in 3.5 years. Whereas I see a lot of people now, they come out the gate, they're like, they affiliate for, I guess, a number of different things really fast, and I think that isn't very appealing to a big audience when I guess Poker Central too, I forgot about that. But yeah, I think a lot of people just go overboard with the affiliate stuff straight away, and that can be a big turnoff to an audience.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think one thing that me and you both have in common is like it's hard to put like a value on like something that we did, right? Like if you said, if Live at the Bike said, Joey, we need an hour of your time, how much does that cost, right? You couldn't really put a number on that, I don't think, because maybe your time isn't worth $2,000 an hour, obviously, but I think that by just promoting them, by tweeting about them, by talking about them, by attaching your brand to the Live at the Bike brand or whatever, then that's worth tons, right? It's not just your time. So it's kind of hard for me, at least, to kind of quantify how much that's worth. You know what I mean?
Well, as I just did that, yes, that's very true. I completely agree. It's very hard to tell. That's a part I suck at too. When you're like, what do I suck at? That's what I suck. I don't know how to figure that out at all. I'm just like, I feel bad asking for money because a lot of people I work with are also friends of mine too. So it's like that whole process is very weird for me.
Yeah, totally agree.
Your hourly also is different when you change the view of how like what you're thinking about in terms of how you make money. So like an hour right now might be worth $10,000 if it is put toward like building a foundation for sustainable long-term income as opposed to like an affiliate or something like that. So you can never get your time back.
Okay, back to the acquisition. The one question that I got after we talked last week, and we talked a lot about wanting to work for ourselves and betting on ourselves and everything. A lot of questions, people were like, oh, well, if you want to work for yourself and bet on yourself, you guys aren't going to last very long at this new company where you're working for somebody else. So, Bales, why don't you explain to the people why we are not quitting now that we're working for somebody else?
Yeah, I think that one of the reasons that we did this was because like these guys are entrepreneurs like us, and we get to be entrepreneurs within the structure of this company. So it's not a typical acquisition where we just like go to work and put in the hours and have no incentive. We're going to be able to build. We were talking last night about some cool stuff that probably will reveal soon, but I think we're going to be able to just continue to build really cool stuff like we have in the past, and work with other entrepreneurs. And it's a unique situation. We, like I said last week, like had a lot of different options and weren't just looking to sell to get money. This is something that we did because we think that we're going to be working with the right people.
Yeah, I'd say the big thing too for me is like this is an opportunity to learn from really smart guys. A lot of times when you think about like a job where you're doing like mundane or grunt work, like you're just completing tasks, you're not really growing or learning. And one thing that I think I recognize, and a lot of guys in the company are hopefully looking forward to, is these guys have fucking crushed media, and they've done really cool things, and they have great ideas, and like they've invested in really cool things. And like my long-term goals are to become a better investor, learn more about media, like get into different things. And this is a great opportunity to learn from guys who are really smart, and they also understand like the viewpoint of being an entrepreneur. Like, we don't want to work for someone. We want to be building something, and we're all in the same boat together, and we're all aligned, and I think that's a really good thing.
We've done a lot of cool stuff individually, but like in the grand scheme of things, we don't really know much about business, right? Like we're just like sort of making it up as we go. And I think that there's that can be a huge positive, like because you're forced to become creative, like you don't have bad habits. But it also now for us is a really good opportunity to learn basically like how to actually do shit.
How much of the acquisition profits were lost in the great altcoin crash of this week?
Not that much, because I think I brought up last week. I moved like 95% to Ethereum and Bitcoin. So
Bitcoin to the moon right now.
Yeah, but that was really just. I mean, I just got lucky. I just didn't have time with the acquisition. I think if you're into most alts, like you need to be ready to dump it and be on top of news and stuff. Like you're not, Titcoin isn't a buy and hold.
I disagree. We talked about the board game off the bat. That's gonna be the most entertaining thing. This Titcoin, baby. Jesus Christ.
Joey, I know you don't have, or you're not that into crypto. What's your take?
Oh man. Every time I do a podcast, people in the chat are crypto chat. I feel like crypto is one of those things in like 3 years. I'll look back on it and all my friends have made a bunch of money. And then I'll be like, oh, now I'll learn about cryptocurrency, So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. When it comes to like making money, I'm not the best at like taking advantage of all these opportunities and stuff like that for myself. So I guess I'm not that interested in it right now in cryptocurrency overall. So I think I could get interested in it one day, but it seems like everyone's really into it. Now you see DFS and cryptocurrency in everyone's profile instead of just DFS or poker. Now they're all crypto enthusiast, and it makes sense to get into it now, especially if it has a long-term future and it's going to be around. If you're in it on the ground floor and you better your knowledge and better your understanding of how it all works, that seems like a smart thing for many people.
Do you feel like you need to know something inside and out to go all in? Like you would just trust that, like.
Yeah, I think, for me, like that's kind of how I look at it. Just from playing poker, like I know if I'm a fish at poker, then like I'm minus EV in that situation, so I don't really gamble on sports games, or I don't really gamble in the pit at all as well too. So I sort of just gamble on myself in situations like prop bets or things like that I can control. And cryptocurrency, I don't know much about it, so I guess that's kind of why I have some money.
That makes sense. Yeah, everything you do is stuff that you control the outcome, right?
Yeah, for the most part. So.
All right. Anything else, boys? What else is going on in Vegas? What else are you guys doing? You guys going out tonight? What's the plan?
Going to a hockey game.
Right?
Yeah, we're going.
We're leaving the pack here.
Yeah, we're going to the Golden Nuggets. Golden Knights.
Golden Nuggets.
I'm thinking of like Denver.
Joey's elevator did smell like some nuggets.
No, I really does. I don't know, man. This building, I'm telling you, there's people getting out of line. But no, I think we're going to the Golden Knights game. We're going with Phil Galvan and a couple of his partners as well too. So we just got to the DFS game, and I said, hey, let me choose you guys all together because as these two young entrepreneurs right here, these guys are always working hard, want to learn more. Phil's been in the entrepreneurship game and the poker side of things. He's got the poker site coming up too here in maybe the next year or so, something like that. So I kind of wanted to get the guys together, and I don't know, maybe who knows what could happen with that. So you never know.
All right, cool. Are we ready to make some bets, boys? Because after all, people need their picks. We already talked about they want their picks. They need their picks. Let me recap last week quickly. Peter went 0-3. Bales went 0-3.
What the fuck? Are they taking the opposite side of picks, or what's happening?
The good news is Bale's and I have done a lot of research for these picks this time.
Yeah.
We are looking good here.
And I, of course, went 3-0. I hit the bank.
Hey, Adam, did you see the 3-man standings?
Yes. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Let me tell them. Go ahead.
That's me. Four straight now. Jesus.
Yeah, I'll get there in a second. Let me tell people quickly.
They just can play these picks and 3-mans and me and DFS, and they'll be able to retire.
Yeah, so the 3-man that we've been doing, Bales has won 4 in a row, and I believe Peter won week 1, so I'm yet to get on the board there. Bales is just absolutely smashing. Bales, have you been putting these lineups into anything else besides our 3-man?
Yep. Not that much, obviously. I don't play a ton of cash, but yeah, it's been all right.
All right.
Terrible response. I know. Let's be honest here. September was not the best month of DFS for Bales or I. Bales was just talking about it. Here we go. He's doing all these tournament teams. He's like, yeah, fuck, man. Every single week, my 3 donkeys. 3-man team is the best team I have. I make all these other tournament teams. Just like me. I mean, my cash game team, my cash game team wasn't even bad. I've had some good scores recently, and Bales has just thrown up the nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bales keeps hitting the nuts.
This week, the 50-50s, my tournament teams have been the worst stretch I've ever had.
What's your process been for making cash game teams, Bales?
Use FantasyLabs, obviously. Yeah, honestly, one of the first things I do is sort by your projected ownership. So that's generally I can predict it fairly well, but obviously not like you, and that's a big component of it. I probably look at I've created my own trends, and I look at those more in cash probably than most people or anyone. I think that they actually have in certain situations a ton of value, and then it just depends on the week. I mean, typically I've tried to get a running back in the flex because of the more narrow range of outcomes, but and pass catching running backs usually. Last week I did with Garrett Blount, who I think we all used, but he was super underpriced. But I think that the pricing has changed a little bit. I know Peter's using a wide receiver in the flex more in cash just because of the values there. So it really just depends on the week. I'm not going in with like any strategy that I always use, but obviously prefer like pass catching running backs, wide receivers who have like a low A dot, they're getting short targets, guys who aren't touchdown dependent per se, stuff like that. Running quarterbacks usually.
He's giving us a fucking ass whipping, let it in. Can you believe that after that explanation? The Trent part's cool, but jeez, they're fucking crushed.
Yeah, it's not going well. All right, so last week, Bengals -3, Rams, Seahawks under 47, 49ers, Colts over 44 for the win for me. Let's get to this week. Joey, are you picking with us this week?
You have the lines right here?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard the lines already this week, but I haven't pretty much
All right.
to it.
Why don't we go Peter first?
I doubt it. You guys go. Who's got the first pick here, Tim?
I was first last week.
Go ahead, Peter, and then go across the couch.
Okay. I'm going to take the Chiefs. What's the line you have on the Chiefs right now?
Chiefs, I'm not seeing a lineup on Labs, but I can probably find one because Derek Carr is going to play.
Wait, I thought.
What week are you in, Adam?
Yeah, 11-10. Are you on the wrong week here? But I thought they're playing the Steelers.
Steelers -4, it looks like on here.
Oh yeah, that's weird. All right, I am seeing Chiefs -4.5.
Damn it. All right, I'll take it. That's not the line I wanted, but I will take it. I'm seeing
Chiefs home against the Steelers -4.5. Go ahead, Joey.
Can we take the same team? I mean,
No, it's a draft.
No?
It's a draft.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'm gonna go with my hometown Chicago Bears -7 or +7 rather against Baltimore Ravens.
Is that what that's at, 7?
I'm seeing 6.5, but we can give the guess to 7.
Guess gets a 7. What is the Packers line at? 3.5?
3.5.
I'll take Packers -3.5 at the Vikings.
Yeah, but I like that. I couldn't believe the Packers were dogs last week in Dallas. All right, I am going to do something I almost never do. I usually would rather lose than do this, but I'm going to take a road favorite in the division with the New England Patriots. I think they get a long week here to get ready, get their defense kind of set for this game against a Jets team, which has won 3 straight, but has faced Miami, Jacksonville, and Cleveland. I think it's time for this Jets offense to meet their maker, and I know that Patriots defense has been so bad, but I think it's really a get-well spot, so I'll lay the 9.5 with the Patriots.
Okay. What's the Broncos line right now?
Broncos are 11.5.
Jeez.
It's gone up 2.5 points since open.
Yeah, I was hoping to get that at 9. I'll go with the over in the Washington-San Francisco game.
All right, 46.5, yep.
We saw what Hoyer did last week. It was pretty ugly, but did get some points on the board. I think this defense in Washington's not as good as it's played in some spots, and I'm thinking Kirk Cousins is going to put a lot of points on the board. Bales?
No, Joey's up.
Joey?
Let me see. I'm gonna go with the. What's the
Incoming Joey 3-0.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5 at home against the LA Rams.
Booked.
I'm going to go Bears, Ravens, over 40. Is it still at 40?
Bears and Ravens. Actually, I'm seeing 39.5.
Oh, Jesus. Then I'm taking over that, obviously.
Jesus.
All right, I'm going to stick with that Jacksonville Rams game, and I'm going to go under. I believe it's 43.5. Two teams that I think will try to run the ball, like the Rams got away from the run game last week for some reason against Seattle. No idea why, but against the Jags, they should not be trying to throw the football at all. Rams in Boye, so I think we'll see a run-heavy game plan, obviously, from Jacksonville, and I think we should see a run-heavy game plan from the Rams. Not a lot of plays in that game. I'll go under the 43.5. Back to you, Peter.
All right, I'll go with the total on the Denver game. Is it 40.5, 41? What's it at?
I'm seeing 40.
Damn it. All right, I'm still going to take the under because I think this is a huge spot for the Broncos defense. The only concern is that Eli Manning will turn the ball over, but I think Denver wants to run here. I think the Giants still have a good secondary. I think the best way to kind of approach this game is just grind it out. A lot of C.J. Anderson and the Broncos defense.
Yeah, Giants might not score. I mean, this is a disaster for them.
I want to take the Giants, but 11.5, or the Broncos, but 11.5. That is.
I mean, literally, I don't see how the Giants score in the game. But anyways, go ahead, Peter. Joey.
All right, guys, since you had 3 now, I might put some money on this now at the sportsbook tonight. I'm going to go with the, you know what, man?
I thought you just said that you don't go to the sports.
Not really. Dude, okay, I made, honestly, I made one NFL bet this entire, my last 5 years, and it was on that Bengals game earlier. It was like Bengals Texans or something like that. And I bet on the Bengals this year. Yeah, like on a Thursday night game. I'm like, oh, I'm going to bet because Mia Khalifa. All right, she was in a video with Deshaun Watson, so I'm like, oh, and it was his first game starting. I'm like, dude, no way, this is like the Mia Khalifa porn star curse. So I bet on the Bengals, and then of course the fucking wins the game, and now she's got.
That's actually a pretty good thing.
I know that's
a little insight. I like
it. That's how it didn't work out. So I'm gonna go with Peter's hometown, Denver Broncos here, 11.5. I don't even know who's playing on the Giants this week. Maybe this is the week Eli Manning bounces back with absolutely all his wide receivers out in a terrible running game. Maybe someone just steps up and it'd be like I feel like it's one of those games where a random person comes out of nowhere and all of a sudden he gets 15 catches for 3 touchdowns or something crazy like that. So I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna go Eagles 3.5 at the Panthers, and that's mainly because I think Wentz is playing so well.
All right, I'll cap it off with the Bucks and Cardinals over 44.5. I think this is, I've been really low on the Cardinals pass game all year, and that's been profitable. I don't think Adrian Peterson will be successful, but I do think this is a really good spot for them coming home to face this kind of broken Bucks defense. And I think that the Bucks are just going to score points on everybody all year. So 44.5, very low. I think that can certainly get over the posted total in the Bucks and Cardinals. All right. Another well-organized, well-prepared, well-thought-out episode of Three Donkeys is in the books. Many thanks to our good friend of the program, Joe Ingram. Follow him on Twitter at Joe Ingram1. Follow him on YouTube. Subscribe to his YouTube, Instagram, Instagram, Poppy GTO. I'm not on Instagram, but I assume that Joey has pictures of beautiful women on there. That would be the only reason that I would get on Instagram to find him. As for us, you can follow Peter at CSURam88. Bales never tweets, but at Bales Football, and me at Adam Levitan. For Peter, for Joey, for Bales, I am Adam. Good luck, everybody.